There is a group of professionals who are responsible for at least 70% of the variation in the team engagement. This group of professionals is considered now one of the most demotivated groups in the entire company in different world in different countries and different companies in different industries. This group is the more demotivated one. And it's a group that it seems nobody is actually developing. I am talking about the middle managers. To support our conversation, as always, I want to bring some data that is quite relevant. And always, when I'm doing my research, I bring data that is, it's covering different cultures, different countries, different industries. So it's not like a local thing. And the first one is from the Gallup State of Global Workplace, which is stating some interesting numbers here for our discussion. The global manager engagement fell from 30% to 27% in one single year in the last 12 months. And among those managers, the ones under 35, they dropped under 5% more. And between the woman in management position, 7%. So it's a big decrease in the engagement feeling. And by engagement, I also mean motivation to do the work, to feel engaged to do the work. That is the point of the research. And the estimated cost of this disengagement moment for those managers is in around 8.8 trillion US dollars, losing productivity for their company. So it's an impressive number. This research is one that I would recommend you to give a chance and give a read, because it's quite impressive what is happening with the engagement for managers. I mean, those people, as I said, they are responsible for how people are going to feel in their companies. If the team is super motivated or super demotivated, normally, I mean, not always, but normally there's some, work of the manager, the local manager, the middle manager on that to motivate, or maybe on the opposite. And the problem with this model, it's how actually we are seeing our careers for many years, like from technical, good professional and becoming a manager. We're going to talk about that very soon, because maybe the problem is how we are mapping the careers in the new world of work that we are living. But let's bring more data for the discussion first. The second data I want to share is from a research from the Simon Sinek Institute, which did a big survey specifically to middle managers. And they discovered among those people that 70% of middle managers would either go back to being individual contributors if they could keep their salary. That's an impressive number, right? 70% would like to, or they prefer to come back to what they are doing as individual contributors. So stop having people management responsibilities if they could keep their salary. And the reason behind that from this research, it's always, or it's pretty much the same among those 70%. They don't feel they have the support needed to do their jobs and manage their teams. Support from the organization, I mean. And only 22% of those are actively working to develop leadership skills. So the company is not supporting their development, and they are also not looking for developing themselves more to be better managers. Big gap, big problem. And finally, the third data point I want to share here is from the DDI Global Leadership Forecast that shares some more impressive data. 71% of middle managers are considered to be under very high stress, which is the biggest level in the history for those kind of positions. And 40% of the middle manager research are on this research, they are considering to leave their job in the coming months. It's an impressive number. Because back to what I was saying about, I was saying on the way that careers are developed, what we normally have, what is the most common model? We have someone that is technically good on what they do, and they deliver super well. And there's a point where these deliverables get connected with an opportunity to grow, and they get promoted to some leadership or management position. And then the company would invest in this person to develop their leadership, and they would keep growing in this leadership route. But the data is showing that companies are not investing in leadership training as they did before. And what we are seeing is that people in the past would move to those positions, be developed as good leaders, and keep growing to maybe at some point be the persons leading the entire company. So be in a high management position. But right now we have many people who are feeling stuck in the middle management position, not feeling they can actually go up because they don't feel the support to develop themselves. The data also show that they are not developing themselves actively or proactively in this case, and neither they are feeling a way to come back to what they did because the salary will need to decrease a little bit to come back to be individual contributor. So that is an interesting and problematic gap, which I want to invite you to discuss with me. What can we do first from a business and management perspective? Why the data is showing something so complex but at the same time so easy, that is development not being considered in a good way for the companies? I mean, we are talking about so many other things nowadays, AI technology, and unfortunately also talking about layoffs due to the AI evolution. But if we don't develop the leadership we have, we are going to face a bigger problem in the near future because AI can do many things and AI cannot do many things as well. And leadership, good leadership in this case, is not one of those that can be done by a robot. You need a good human leader to be able to set a good vision and move people all together to the same direction. You know, there is a difference between management and leadership that is quite interesting for this reflection, where management normally it's more about using their resources in the different ways that they or in the different contributions that can bring to their company or to deliver value. So you have someone that is brilliant in this area. You want to put more ways to use this potential so you can bring that to your deliverable, to your project, to your initiative, and then you have that other person with some other more specific skills. So you want to use the specificities that you have in the different uh, people around your company to build something that makes sense altogether. So it's about the specific skills, about the specific deliverables that can be taken from the resources you have and from the people that you have. But leadership, it is about forgetting the specificities, the what this one is good or bad, what this other one is good or bad, but it's taking everyone to the same direction. So it's about vision, it's about where we are walking towards. And those things, they depend on someone that is good on connecting all the dots and setting this kind of vision to motivate people to walk to the right direction. And from a career perspective, from a professional perspective, the other discussion I want to bring here and reflect with you, it's on the way we are developing our careers. Because I know that many people who um, watch my content or listen to my content or read my content, they are not interested on becoming managers. They want to develop in themselves, they want to keep growing their careers, but they are more interested in a specialist path. So they want to continue their careers as individual contributors, of course, growing their salary, growing their career, growing their path, but not having people's responsibilities. And in the other side, there are many people who interact with my content, maybe is the majority, who actually want to develop themselves even more and further and deeper on management and leadership. So they want to understand the best frameworks, the best ways of interact with different teams, negotiating, how to flow the communication around the company, how to make sure that they are putting all those things together to deliver value, to be more efficient. So they want to become not only managers, but great managers, the best ones. And I know that self development, thinking about our development is important, but the investment from the company is, of course, very crucial here because if you don't feel you have the support for that, unfortunately, normally people would leave to a place where they can find that. But please, the reflection for you, for your career, if you are in this group, it's what are you actively doing to move ahead? Because if your company is not investing on you or developing your leadership, is that all? I mean, are you delegating your career and your movement and your growth to your company in that way? We should be the owners of our careers, of our decisions, and our growth. That's why I'm always telling you that's my philosophy that we should try to be at least 1% better every day because that's how we keep growing. We want to keep learning, we want to keep developing ourselves. But it depends on you, it depends on us to do the right steps and to find what is the best way to keep developing our careers.